I want you to stop working for free. If you're tired of getting ghosted on proposals, the endless follow ups, and we'll think about it as a response, there's a better way. The top agencies aren't sending proposals. They're getting paid to pitch and close bigger deals way faster. I want you to grab this free resource I just put together at agencymastery360.com/strategy. That's agencymastery360.com/strategy, and you'll learn how to flip the script if you want to get paid for your expertise instead of giving it away for free. Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, excited to have you on. Tell us who you are, what you do.
So I'm Jennifer Bagley. I'm the CEO of CI Web Group, digital marketing agency, all virtual, registered in 22 states, but we have clients all over the United States and Canada. I think there's only 2 states that we don't have clients in right now.
Which state is that?
South Dakota, and we do not have anyone in like Manitoba where it's all French speaking.
Okay.
Right? should say province, the right side of Canada. I haven't figured that one out yet. I should now that we have the ability to translate, but.
Awesome. Well, how'd you get started and when did you get started?
So I was a corporate brat in my 20s and climbed up the corporate ladder, but I had a goal that by the time I hit 30, I was going to be an entrepreneur. So I did what all entrepreneurs do. And I think I started my side hustle while I was working in corporate and got the walkout when I hired some of my employees to come work for my business. But my first business was actually real estate. And then I opened up a mortgage brokerage office in Seattle, Washington, as well as in Texas. From there, I had to learn how to market. I wound up building a network of 250 real estate brokers and mortgage brokers. And I came from an operations background. I was a black belt in Six Sigma, certified project manager, supply chain management expert. And all of a sudden I own a company. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to figure out the 2 things I know nothing about. And I don't even think I actually liked that division of any business. I felt like they, hurt the operations, did a lot of things that they weren't calculating cost and impact on operational inefficiency. So I built a little team. Everyone referred to them as the web group. And they actually supported all of our real estate professionals, built a couple different businesses on the side that were really geared towards referral generation, cross collaboration, marketing strategies. And then in 2008, you know what happened in the real estate market, I'm sure.
Yeah, I bought a house in 2007. So yeah.
Yes. So that was a big hit on that industry. By then, we had we had this really strong team that had done a great job of helping market for all of our loan officers and agents. And that group, they had us do all these side projects. They'd be like, well, we have a painter, or we have an HVAC company, or we've got a title company. And they're like, can we please do their marketing? Their company doesn't support them. Can we help? And so we kind of had all these volunteer projects. And then when the real estate market went crazy, haywire, I was like, we've kind of done a good job at this marketing and advertising and web development thing. Like, let's lean in and see where this goes. So it was relatively an accident. It was forced because, the entrepreneurship hustle was a challenge. It took me quite a while to figure out how to be successful, even in that industry, compliance and regulations and everything else. So it was an accident, but a good one. That's all she wrote since then.
And how long did it take you to start getting some momentum in the agency?
So the first 5 years, I was a little conflicted. I still had one of my other businesses, which was a supply chain consulting. I changed it to sales supply chain consulting, which leaned into and was a good lead generator for the marketing agency because people were buying me at that time. And I was essentially trading my time for money to the point where I ran out of time. And all I could do was I really extended every single hour that I had of my own personal time. And that's when I had brought on a business coach. And he was like, what are you doing? Like, what was the point of entrepreneurship if you're going to, there's no time, money, or freedom and you trading your time. So I would say the first 5 years was a struggle. I was it was a very, very big lifestyle business. And I had to essentially cut off every single consulting agreement that I had, which dropped me a good, good chunk of cash. And I had to focus on utilizing the skills that we had to build the agency itself and not trade Jennifer, not sell Jennifer with marketing being on the side.
It's difficult with people. And this is where a lot of agencies struggle, where they go, in order to get business, I need to market myself. I need to market myself as the front face of the organization. Because when someone goes from transforming from an owner, right, like someone that does everything, to a CEO, there's really kind of like 5 roles I always talk about. Like, one being the face of the agency, knowing the vision of where it's going, communicating it to the team, coaching and mentoring your leadership team in order to get better, knowing the financials and building relationships. And a lot of people struggle with being the face, because then they feel that everybody wants them to work on their engagement. And they go, and then if I'm also the face, I can't build it up and sell it. And I'm like, well, a perfect example is like Gary Vaynerchuk, right? With VaynerMedia. He's the face, but I can promise you he's not doing the project management. He's not doing the account management. He has no idea who you are unless you're Pepsi or Coca-Cola or whoever. And so, then people are like, oh, okay, I get that.
It took having a good coming to Jesus meeting to have someone just kind of throw myself back at myself and say, look in the mirror and go back to remembering, why'd you start this? I think every entrepreneur starts with, I want more time, money, and freedom, but are you actually implementing the processes and systems and have the mindset to be able to accomplish that, are two different things. And sometimes it takes a tail whipping to get there.
And so your pivotal moment was like, I just don't have any more time. Is that why you were like, I got to make a switch? Like, you were almost to the top of the mountain, but you're like, no, man, I got to go back down and kind of reset. Because you were saying, I had to turn away probably a lot of cash to get some more time back, right?
Yeah, I was a single mom back then, and I was in my early 30s, and I literally lost just about everything. My son and I moved into an office. I had my dog and my son and we lost our house. I had a tax lien on the house. I had all the things, right? It was very interesting, because dropping that amount of cash, my lifestyle was obviously at a certain percent. That was a big one. I go back and I ask him, I'm like, what do you think about you? Like, technically you were homeless, kiddo. What do you think about it? He was like, oh, that was cool. I had a big old TV and my bed was under a conference table. It was like a tent. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I was willing to throw away everything to get a mulligan. I mean, that's what I needed, because that was unsustainable. And I didn't want a lifestyle business, right? I wanted a legacy, something that was saleable, something I could take to market in the future. I got a lot of families up in this business, and I mean, they need an exit too.
Mm-hmm. What were the roles that you brought in to kind of start over?
So right out of the gate, it was more getting out of ops for me. It was not doing the work. So when I first started the business, really, it was core fundamentals. I started with developers, a content team. Then I was bringing in project managers. That was kind of all in the beginning. I think in the beginning of every business, everyone starts with I call them the triple Fs, like friends, family, fools, fast, felons, free, whatever you can get, right? to get off the ground. So I started bringing in more seasoned professionals. And then, I would say every 5 years, it's been a different transition. Even the last 5 years, it was more bringing in a full accounting team, bringing in our financial strategy team, our business intelligence team, a team of AI engineers, bringing in a CFO, bringing in a chief of staff and the HR side of the business, and really hiring, understanding who to hire and what was important. Like our crew, these guys, they're brilliant. They run this agency. I do this all day long. I mean, I visit with people like you. I do a lot of podcasts, a lot of content, but I really spend most of my time predicting the future and navigating us through a very, very kind of volatile and exciting time.
Yeah. And we were talking kind of in the pre-show that your agency last year was a little over 300 employees, W-2s, and you've reduced it. How were you able to reduce it and kind of stay where you guys were?
Yeah. So I built a technology and transformation team over the last year, headed by a woman named Chelsea. And Chris is our technology engineer. They are revisiting everything that we've done. So we've moved from a WordPress agency to a Webflow agency. We've invested in building over 1,000 agentic networks that are essentially automating, perfecting, and scaling every business process that we have that a human would do. So whereas a human would go out and build a strategy, our agentic network is filled with 60 AI agents that are able to do all the homework, crawl all your competitors, evaluate the landscape, assist in building out the strategy, and do it in rapid time. So really, it's our framework. Investing in AI has been the number one thing that we've done. And I don't see that going away. I would say the second piece to that would be rethinking the entire organization's infrastructure from a technology standpoint. Like every agency, I would presume, because I don't speak to a lot of agencies, so I don't know all the broken things, but I would assume they're the same. We, 2 years ago, we were very disjointed in our technology infrastructure. I felt like we had as good as you could get with the technology that was available as far as our CRM and operating platform, analytics platforms, communication tools, client project management. But still, you're looking at 4, 5, and 6 different technology platforms that you're utilizing. No central hub, no centralized data hub. And that has been this last year. This year, we've essentially been rebuilding our entire framework to not be reliant on any third-party platforms, tools, or systems, building a ETL pipeline, a MinIO database, a centralized data hub, and really reframing our entire business to be more of a hub and spoke model where all data flows into a central MinIO database for analytics and business intelligence, and every piece of information flows in and out. And then building the AI agents around that so that our account managers and project managers can simply talk to a well-trained agent that has access to every ounce of data. The next move is getting all of that data to predictively and proactively tell us when we need to pay attention to things, when things are headed the wrong direction, and give us insights on what we should concentrate on so it doesn't rely as much on humans to go dive into 5 different platforms to figure it out.
With a lot of what you're doing now, are you hiring more seasoned and experienced people, or are you able to
Only.
hire more junior that are assisted and almost kind of like given a superpower a little bit?
So I guess the best way to put it is you're either on the AI engineering and development team or you're client facing and you are super experienced, and I don't need much of the middle anymore.
Yeah, because there's 2 things that all agencies do that will kind of focus on hiring really seasoned talent or really junior talent. And I've always been the mentality, I'd rather hire more seasoned talent because I don't want to manage anybody. I'm a horrible manager. I always say that. Like
Same
if I have
here.
to constantly check on you to do different things and double check your work, like you are the wrong person for me. Or if you're coming to me like, what should we
Should
do
I
next?
do next?
Oh my God. That should be like, you
I
should
can't
put your resume on LinkedIn and quit.
right now. I don't have the patience for it. I'm not even that nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with that 1,000%. I don't have any room for slow anywhere or elementary. I did none. And it's been an interesting tap on our soul and our reputation because we've made a lot of really tough decisions. If I went back, you and I were talking about, to that 320, I had lots of average people that I refer to them as, this is going to sound horrible, but lever pullers and bobbleheads.
Hi there, agency owners. Let me ask you, are you ready to scale your agency without increasing your overhead costs? If yes, then you need to know about E2M Solutions. Now, E2M is the #1 most reliable white label partner for agencies. They specialize in web design, WordPress development, e-commerce, SEO, and content writing. They basically do all the heavy lifting, which frees you up to focus on growing your agency. Now, here's the best part. E2M's just not another vendor. With over 10 years of experience, their team of over 300 experts has a track record of delivering for more than 300 agencies. They're your strategic partner. They deliver on time every time so you can focus on what you do best. Now, E2M's mission is simple: to help 500 agencies increase their revenue and profit margins with white label services that actually work. And to help you get started, they're offering a special deal, 10% off for the first 3 months, but act fast because it's only a limited time offer. So head over to e2msolutions.com/smartagency to check out their transparent and their flexible pricing. Trust me, if you're ready to grow without burning out, E2M is the partner you've been looking for. That's e2msolutions.com/smartagency. Go check them out and tell them Jason Swank sent you. But some companies need that. I used to think, when I remember going back many years ago, I was hiring a project manager and I went to them, I said, look, like our path to getting to a creative director, you had to go through like a project manager. I was like, look, just do this role for 2 years. It kind of sucks, right? And then you can get to do more fun stuff. Well, I was looking at it in my eyes versus this person loved the same routine every day. They loved just pulling the lever, time to make the donuts and that kind of stuff. They just wanted that routine. And the world needs that, or well, up until maybe up until this point.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's starting to change. Like the lever pullers now are obviously going to be, AI.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see where things go as a society, let alone for digital marketing for all lever pullers. I think parents have a heavy lift right now. I would say that you better start rethinking how you train your kids because the schools are not going to do it.
Well, yeah, I laughed at my kids' schools when they were like, "We don't want to use your kid to use AI." I'm like, "Are you serious?"
You're a fool.
I was like, I use it for everything now. Now it's to a point on a lot of stuff. You still have to have a human to check it. I can't tell you how many times our little AI agents, I'm like, stop using the word fluff, stop putting the double dash in, and if you use another emoji, I'm going to fucking kill you, right?
Or you build an AI agent responsible for fluff and an AI agent responsible for auditing for emojis. So it's different it depends on what level everyone's using AI, right? If it's conversational AI, that's one point. If it's super agent, now you're getting a little more sophisticated. If you're building a multi-tenant agentic network, then now you got flexibility because whatever you don't like, build an agent for that. And so you've got agents checking agents.
Well, what platforms are you using for your agents?
Oh my goodness. So I started, my devs were so mad at me, but I started in N8N. Then I went over to make.com. Then I went over to Relevance. Then I went over to LangChain. And now they are, I cannot remember the last one that they sent me, but they basically told me that I was like elementary child riding on a tricycle.
Yeah,
So,
for N8N or Make.
yeah, for all of those. They're like, it's good, Jen. Keep practicing. I feel like I'm like the dumb CEO. They're like, oh, no, it's good, honey. Go play with that toy.
Yeah.
I could not explain what they're doing. I know that they have set up the data pipeline through Min.io, which that's a big deal. They set up ClickHouse for all of the BI and analytics that's fully integrated with AI. I know they're utilizing Prisma for something and that they have their own process. They're like, do you understand that AI existed before N8N, Jen? Like, do you understand what a data pipeline is and what ETL pipelines are? And I'm like, okay, listen, too much. Here's what I don't want a human to have to do anymore. Can you make that happen?
So I want to change this conversation a little bit because there are so many people, like you said, on different levels of AI. I feel like I've scratched the surface. I think I'm ahead of so many people, but I think my knowledge is like 20%.
Conversational chatbot?
Well, like custom GPTs, I have some AI agents that go out. They're built on N8N, right? And I don't like my AI agents on N8N because so like, that's why I'm still at the very lower end. And I think a lot of people are because a lot of the agencies that we chat, like they're just starting to use custom GPTs, which are not even close to AI agents, right?
No.
And so where did you find these people to hire to lead the company in this?
So that is a really good question. So I'm a little blessed in the fact that my family my cousins are nerds. So this was what happened. So I started myself trying to dive in and study as much as I could with AI. I have my senior developer, Chris, and engineer. He's our chief technology master, and he is a developer, hardcore developer. So it's very difficult to take a traditional developer and get them to start utilizing AI agents because they can do it faster and better with code. And the whole point with him was that I was like, but you are a limited resource. There's not a lot of you. You're really freaking expensive. And the rest of the company can't do what you do. And that's the power of being able to build an agentic network and an orchestrator and create a framework inside of AI agents. And so I actually had to get him to want to stop me from learning and doing it myself. And that's where it started. And that was very, very, very difficult because he's literally like, everything about N8N is atrocious. This is rookie business. What a joke. And it was very, very, very difficult. But once he understood that if we could get our team starting to think more efficiently, think more about automation, find those routine redundant tasks or the gaps in process, right? It's not even about duplicate processes or routine processes, but if time was unlimited and resources were unlimited, what would you have done to get the client a better process, better experience, better content, better website, better strategy, whatever that is, right? And so they started thinking differently. Once he got it, now I have the ability to have him start analyzing. So my recruiting team is looking for masters at LangChain, masters at relevance.ai, and we bring them in. I'm about to start running some hackathons to try and recruit.
Yeah, to really kind of put them to the test because everyone
Yeah.
says that they're an expert and you
And they're
can't judge
not.
it by that.
They're
No.
not. So I've had to, if it was me, I probably would have burned through a lot of money trying to test and trial. But luckily, I have Chris in the background really testing their knowledge and understanding of database architectures, ETL pipelines. He's the one that's helping.
Yeah, because honestly, like most people listening, they have no clue of what you just said. And so they wouldn't know how to hire a lot of these people. They just go, oh, yeah, I can create an AI agent on NAN or make.com or, I'll create something in Zapier. I'm like, oh, God.
Oh,
Like,
no.
yeah, right. I'm like, no, that's not even close.
No.
And so, like,
Oh, gosh.
if you didn't have him, what would you do in order to find that talent? Would you go back, still do the hackathon? But like, how would you know what to look for?
So I
haven't heard that word hackathon in forever too. I love that you wrote that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I've been collecting a database of them. One, I've been using LinkedIn. Two, I use YouTube like crazy because you can get a feel for what their capabilities are on YouTube. These aren't the sexy videos. These are the ones that are painful to watch, right?
Yeah,
You
barely understand them.
Yes, when they're nerding out and they're going through and they start saying, I'm going to build an orchestrator and then I'm going to build a sophisticated AI agent network that accomplishes these things. If it's one agent performing a task, no, you need single protocol. So if money was unlimited and you were able to build the perfect company and you were able to say, this one human being is responsible for being the best at this task, that's how the agentic networks have to be built. Right? Is you have
So all these agents are talking to each other.
Yes.
They're backing up. Yeah.
Yes. As narrow a focus as you can possibly. You do not want, it's called God complex in coding. When the same thing, if you have one person wearing too many hats in a company, it's the same thing with an AI agent. You need them to be really tightly wound and perform one function really well. They need to have an auditor of that function, someone to check that function. They need a if then this, as far as what is the route that it goes through. But it's just like building an org chart, right? Who's the director and what's their role? Who's the orchestrator and what's their role? What are the subject matter experts? Who's assigning the task? Who's checking the task? Who's validating the task? Who's handing off the task? And you're building your agentic network the same way. So if you're on YouTube and you come across somebody that's in there and they're bragging about some really killer system, like reach out, start having the conversation.
Especially if it has like 4 views, like you reach out, they're going to be like, yes. Like they just want to build.
Yes,
What I found out yeah, those, we'll call them nerds because I love nerds and I've been
Me
a
too.
nerd sometimes too, right? Like it's just they want to do this, the development stuff. They don't want to worry
Yeah.
about sales. They don't want to worry about marketing. They just want to do this coding and
Yes.
just make these things talk to each other. Like that's what
Yeah.
they love.
That is it. This will not sound like a sales video. So it's the opposite of whatever you would normally like be attracted to watch. I'm building a library of them. I brought on 3 last week and we give them all a project, see what they can do. We give them a short window and a time frame. And you can tell really quick the ones that get to it quickly and are like, let me show you my screen. Let me show you my screen. And they're going to town, like keep them. The ones that don't, or if there is a slight delay, be out. Like fire quick.
What do you have to pay someone to do that? Do you think for a salary? Because like there's huge ranges. I mean, I just read something that Mark Zuckerberg was trying to
The
hire
list,
people away from OpenAI for 125 million
the
signing
list.
bonus, and then he doubled it, and they still said no. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I could say no to that.
I know. So yeah, that is a really good question. And that's kind of what we're facing right now. So obviously location, geography is going to matter, right? How early you get them in their business is going to matter. If they're currently employed by another agency and you're trying to recruit them or employed by a tech company, that's going to matter. The list of experts, right? That's the signing bonuses they're looking at. And those are enormous. So on the high end, I'm $250,000 in per person. I would say right now, I haven't been able to secure anybody that is higher than that. On the low end, I go after a pay per project and it depends where they're located in the world. So probably 6 grand for a small project. And that might get you 10 hours of time.
I was just curious because I'm sure it's all across the board. But if you can find those, and sometimes unicorns, they've
Yeah.
gotten 4 views and they love nerding out. They don't want to talk to anybody, and you just let them go. Like those were the coders I loved, and
Yeah.
I love your idea of for finding them on YouTube or some kind of video platform.
Yeah. I gotta see their work. So I would say as an agency owner, like, I mean, what I've done for the last year and a half was spend like every single night watching 4 hours of YouTube videos and
You don't have
learning
an
so
AI
that
agent doing it yet?
Manus can do that. So yeah, that's on the flip side. You can go to Manus and you can drop in a video. It'll watch the entire video, summarize it for you. I can have 20 of my Manus agents out there watching every YouTube video for me. I like it that my husband and I actually enjoy watching all these stupid videos together. Everyone else might not. And yes, you can use Manus for that. And it'll summarize so exactly what you're looking for.
That's cool. That's awesome. Jennifer, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your expertise and your stories. Fascinating. I wish you the best of luck going forward. And for everyone listening, start really diving in. Like, AI is not just ChatGPT or Gemini. There's so much more to it. And you have to have someone on the team leading it. If it's not you, it needs to be someone. And if they haven't already stepped up, they're not going to step up. So you have to, recruit these people in order to be relevant in the future, like next week. And for all of you listening, if you want to be around other cool people where we talk about AI and running an agency and selling agencies, buying agencies, all that kind of cool stuff, make sure you get agencymastery.io and check out our community. We're a very small, tight-knit, non-bro network
I love
that
that.
you guys should go and check out. And until next time, have a swank day.